Ready to go.
Okay. Good morning, everybody, and welcome back. Today, we're working on the recoil on this little Husqvarna 128. As you can see, it's got nothing for rewind. Now, on most weed eaters and chainsaws and almost everything, the recoil itself has two little tabs on it. But on the Husqvarna, it's a little bit different. They're on the actual crank itself. So let's have a quick look. Lucky enough, this one comes apart a little bit easier than most. Oh, one more screw. Where are you at? There you are. There you go. As you can see on this one, on this, it's on the little flywheel thing. And we've got a replacement ready to go, but these were a little bit tricky to get off. Because if you put a wrench on it, let's put a regular wrench on it. Let's grab our handy 10 millimeter. Because as you know, the entire world's held together with 10 millimeters and 1/2 inches. See, if you try to turn it, the motor will turn with you. So there's two ways you can go about this. I'll show you the hard way first. We'll show you the easy way second. The hard way is we'll take the spark plug out. And this comes in handy if you don't have an impact wrench. We'll check our plug size. Give it a wild guess, and we're going to be wrong. Always hope it's a smaller one because it fits in there better. So we're going to go ahead and pull the plug out. And what we're going to do here is we're going to get the piston all the way on the bottom. Now usually when I do this, I'd use my good old endoscope and just look down inside and watch it go down. But if you don't have one, you can take a screwdriver and just put it right there and then turn the engine slowly. Let's grab our 10 millimeter again. We use this to slowly rotate the motor. Doesn't really matter which direction. And you can feel your screwdriver going down. Oh, and we felt it bump back up. So we're going to go this way just a little. Okay, that's the very bottom of the stroke right there. Now you notice I've got a screwdriver with a little cut in it. This thing comes in super handy. Now we're going to grab some recoil string. You see this piece is a little dirty because I use it for exactly this. We're going to put a hook on it and shove it in there. And then basically keep shoving it until you fill up the piston completely. There's no art to it. There's no special trick to this. Just keep shoving string in. And what we're doing is we're trying to fill up the piston as much as we can with string. And when we're done, this is going to allow us to take that bolt off. Just as a side note, it turns standard righty-tighty, lefty-loosey on this one. If you're doing one of these and you're trying to unwind something on the crank, get the new part first and check the threads on it. That way, no matter what brand it is or what it is, you can get it. You won't try to turn it the wrong direction and ruin the equipment. No, we don't want a knot in there. You can see I just keep making one more little loop and then shoving it in the hole. And the whole idea is to find something soft to basically fill up the piston. Because what you want to do is hold the piston still without putting undue pressure on it. Okay, that's mostly full. So now we can take our 10 millimeter. We'll probably do this without the extension. Maybe. Yes, we can. See, now we can take our 10 millimeter and we'll turn it. And now the string is pinching the piston, and it's pinching it gently. And make sure you use regular nylon cord like this. See, I've got twine that I use for other things because it's cheap, but don't use twine on it because it's a little bit abrasive and it'll leave threads inside your engine that you just don't need. So now we've got it to that point, and we'll just go and pop it loose. And as you can see, it popped right loose. Now, if you've got an impact gun like this, then all you'd have to do is put it on and spin it off. With a regular screw gun, that wouldn't work. It'd just spin the engine. So now let's spin our new one on. Ta-da! And we're just about done. Now it'll freelance a little bit when it's tightening, because now the piston's got to go through the rotation the other direction. Now, if you do use an impact gun, don't use the impact gun to tighten it, because you can break the stud off on this. I've done that before. I think we all have at one point or another, and then you've ruined a perfectly good weed eater. So now that that's done, pull that down, pull our string back out and put our plug in, and we're almost done. Now this is kind of interesting because on most of these, when you pull this, it's got these little double arms, and what they do is the double arms, as it goes this direction, friction with the centerpiece will make the little double arms pull out and twist it. The Husqvarna works entirely different. The way this works is the rotation of the engine. These are out here, so just simply the motor spinning, they'll fly off to the side and they'll stay out of the way. So it's the RPM that handles it here, and it's a little spring mechanism that handles it here. I would argue that this is the best system, even though you've got to replace the little centerpiece rather than just the little pawls. Because the way they're attached, they're almost impossible to replace. But this little piece only cost about $7 or $8 for 2 of them on Amazon. And I'll put a link I'll put a little description below. And I'll put a link to the part that I bought. Okay, that's it. We got our plug back in, back on. Now I know this bad boy's got more than one problem, but I figured we'd focus on this one for this video, because I know a lot of people watch the videos looking for a specific answer. There you go. And notice we played with the cord when we put it back in. You jiggle it around a little bit and it'll slide right in. Oh, screw it back on. Let's get our other screws in place and let's see if she works. Now this one's been sitting around for a while, so I don't expect it to actually start, but we'll save that for another day. Okay, cover's nice and tight. Perfect. So on a lot of weed eaters, you'll end up wanting this part, which is the recoil mechanism itself. And I've always got one of these laying around because I get a lot of these Husqvarnas where the back end's been bashed up a little bit, and it's easier to just buy this than it is to try to make something that's broken work. And it'll be more reliable in the long run. But on this one, it's that simple little part, the little, I'm not quite sure what you call it. So I'll look that up and I'll put it in the video here. So all you new people out there, if you made it this far, you might as well subscribe. It's free and it's what we work for. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.